ಹೋಗ.
Right. Welcome everybody. We're back with another episode in Cricket Vana. Today we are just gonna talk about cricket grounds. The fascination of the grounds will never cease to exist for the cricket fanatics like us. Every ground has its own tale and history, and some controversial stories, and the home teams involved in each of them, and either domestic or international. We will keep the pitch and its preparation for another topic. That itself is a beast of a topic. This is more of the grounds, your favorite ground, your least favorite ground, or the maybe some unique records, some unique views and shapes and slopes and whatnot of different grounds. Vinod, welcome in the video on Modco. And Vinod is the one who suggested this topic. Thank you.
Very good, very good.
And of course, we have Somu, who have watched international games in many stadiums across 5 different countries as well. For me, even though I've been following the game so much, I think I watched a lot more cricket over my phone than the stadiums. I've only been to Chinnaswamy, which I call it as a mini Lords, because Chinna is small and Swami is Lords, right? Chinnaswamy, mini Lords. But anyway, so Vana, start.
I don't know, there's a lot of cricket grounds, a lot of pretty cricket grounds. Okay, for somebody who follows cricket, I would say still Lord's is the mecca of cricket. There is no question about it. The members in Lord's still come with their suit and tie on. That's how the cricket is revered there. In fact, I was almost embarrassed that I watched Vinay Bandirla. Vinay Amel didn't take Banda. I went to England Australia game before he walked in on the 25th of June, if I remember right. ನಾನು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೀ-ಶರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು. I mean sneaker ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಶೆಕೆ ಐತೆ ಅವತ್ತು. But I was almost embarrassed because everybody was in a hat and a suit and they have a tie, orange and I believe mustard yellow ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ tie, if I remember right. Lords is the color. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. They're so ತುಂಬಾ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೋತಾರೆ. There is nothing bad about watching cricket in Lords. And also ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದ ತಕ್ಷಣ you can when you watch cricket in Lords, the museum is open for everybody for free. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. That's one of the, in fact ನಾನು ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋದ್ವಿ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ. There was no cricket at that time, but this time I could go and watch free, because anytime there's a cricket match, and for me,
and Australia last year World Cup
ಮೊನ್ನೆ World Cup ಅದು. So then the other thing which I almost like to watch cricket for me is oval. What makes you, oval is a beautiful ground. What makes you feel better for a cricketer, for all of us who have played some cricket, if you're sitting in like I would say 70, let's say 60 to 70% of the ground, you're almost in the level of you're not in the level of the ground, but you're a little higher, but you're almost there. You're fielding. You get that feeling for some reason. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ. So I thought that's one of those things I found out oval was beautiful.
What is that big metallic cylindrical
ಅದು ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಅದು ಆಯಿಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಕೆಳಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಮೀಡಿಯಾ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್
ಅಲ್ಲ ಓವಲ್
ಅಲ್ಲಿ that is actually the gas chamber. That's the gas chamber.
Oil ಏನೋ ಒಂದಿದೆ ಅದು. So that's the iconic thing.
It's an iconic it adds to the
it's a place where gas chamber methane gas was stored. So when you start off a series in the springtime, the cylinder will be high. As the series goes down, the cylinder will be low. So you can see the height in which the cylinder will move. It's a gas chamber.
So in fact, ನಾನು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ಹೋದಾಗ, I think Bangladesh, New Zealand ಒಂದು ಹೋದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು I cannot remember which was the other game. I went. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ದೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು. In fact, it was extra cover mid off ಆ ಏರಿಯಾಗೆ ಬಂತದ ಅವಾಗ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆ ಕಡೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ದೆ, ಮಿಡಾನಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ದೆ. That was the I saw that. That's iconic for ಇದು. ಈ
One
ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್
question on, one more question on oval. Why is that always the host for the final test of the?
ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನ್.
Yeah.
ಓಕೆ, ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್. ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಓವಲ್.
Oval. Yeah.
ಮಧ್ಯ ಮ್ಯಾಂಚೆಸ್ಟರ್, ಲೀಡ್ಸ್, ಬರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ಹ್ಯಾಮ್.
Correct.
ದಟ್ಸ್ ಹೌ ದೇ ಗೋ.
Yeah.
ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓವಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀನು ಹೊರಗಡೆ when you walk around, there are pictures of all the players who Surrey players. Surrey is home ground for Oval.
Oval.
And Middlesex is the home ground for Lords. Lords ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಕಂಬ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಬದ ಮೇಲೆ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿಟ್ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಡೆದದು. ಎಲ್ಲರದು ಒಂಥರ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇದು. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನೋ ದಿ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಹೂ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಇದಂತ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅದಿದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟ್ರೆಡಿಷನ್ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸ್ಕೋರ್ 100 ಆರ್ ಗೆಟ್ 5 ವಿಕೆಟ್ಸ್, ಯು ಗೋ ಆನ್ ದ ಬೋರ್ಡ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ, ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈವ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್, ಟು ಬಿ ಆನೆಸ್ಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಯು.
ಇವಾಗ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮುಂಚೆ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಫೇಮಸ್. ಈಗ ಎವ್ರಿ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಆನರ್ಸ್ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ 100 runs and 5 wickets.
Yeah, the sad part for me was this. I knew. I think Ganguly and Dravid both made the debut at Lords.
I know.
So Ganguly got 100, Dravid got 95.
Yes.
And eventually, I think
Dravid got it in 2011.
Yeah, he got his 100.
As an opener, he got that 100 in his last tour.
He made the Lords board, luckily.
Yeah.
So, it's a huge board. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ, when we take the tour, ಅದು ಕಾಣುತ್ತದೆ. They have that list. It's really iconic. Long room ಅಂತಾರೆ. You have seen it. When you walk in, either you go to the right or to the left. When you walk from the stadium, from the ground to inside, you make a right. That's where the tourist team is. You can always say that. ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಗೆದ್ದಾಗಲೇ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಲಗಡೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ರು. When you see that, to the left is the logo, England team. So it's a long walk, especially when you get out for a 0 or a low score. It's a horrible walk because all the members will be watching you. That's kind of almost embarrassing. That's one thing I've seen, and that's iconic. So for me, the other cricket ground which I really like outside England ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ Cape Town. Very pretty.
Very scenic.
Very scenic. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಆ ಕಡೆ ಮೌಂಟೇನ್ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ. ತುಂಬಾ small ground, but very, very nice. We can go on about a lot of these, and obviously,
I think scenic idರಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ಗೆ the Cape Town in South Africa, Adelaide Oval, it used
Dharmasala.
to be ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ, and this one,
Dharmasala is I've seen pictures. ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. It's one of the things, because Himalayan mountains ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. I think I want to watch a game there if I can.
Yeah, I want to. Actually, Vinod has an interesting story about his visit to Lords.
Very nice. Come on, tell me.
Blame it on West Indies' poor form. Go ahead.
So this was my first time to visit to London, and we had planned to get the ticket, and I was in Scotland for a conference. So the engineering college mugiskondu Scotland hogidvi, so limited budget. So we had all flown and finished there was a AI conference for which we had gone. So conference mugiskondu ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದು ಲಂಡನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ 4 ದಿವಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಗಿದೋಯ್ತು.
ಎರಡೋ ಮೂರೋ ದಿನ ಒಂದು ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಡೀಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಔಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ 100 or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So we were contemplating to watch
Angus Fraser got 7 wickets.
Yeah, we were thinking to watch the 4th or the 5th day. Neither of the days we could watch because the game got over. And finally we went as a tourist to see the stadium. So yeah, I was fascinated with it was in 2000. So I was fascinated with the media box. So
yes. Yeah. ಅದು ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋದಾಗ, ನಾವು 88 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋದಾಗ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ಲಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ಗೆ 88 ಅಲ್ಲಿ. It was not there.
Media box build ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು just before 99 World Cup.
Correct. ನನಗೇನಂದ್ರೆ ಲಂಡನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ there's a building which is actually a concave shaped building in London. It's a skyscraper which is concave, not convex, concave shaped building. And that building is shard. Yeah. That building was a lot of scrutiny because in summer the sunlight hits that building and actually focus on a street, and the cars or something that are parked on a street get burnt there. because of the shape of a skyscraper, right? Either they get melted or something happens, and it was one of the worst architectural designs of a building, right? So in 99, they had the thought process to put that 25-degree angle on the media box so that sunlight from any angle doesn't reflect on people's face or players' face. So the media box glass doesn't reflect sunlight. It's one of the building where the glass is tending 25 degrees frontwards, like, you know. So there was a very unique angle. It was built so that in any angle, when you have sunlight, it doesn't reflect on players' faces or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it was one of the very interesting design, so that the media people can watch from inside, but the glass will not reflect. And they didn't have to put
it's kind of going, it goes away that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, in fact, first, when you start the game, the sun hits there. A pavilion let's say if you're sitting in the pavilion, to the extra cover in the mid off, that's where the sun rises. You're right.
Correct.
It won't reflect. Absolutely right.
It won't reflect. And the next thing, futurist thing, when we visited that time was because the game was over and there were a lot of other staff and all available. That we spoke to them. There's a lot of thought process in that design. The thing is, first of all, the tradition in Australia and England, if I understand correctly, is they don't call their grounds a stadium. They call them as grounds. It's a cricket ground, it is called. It's not called a stadium.
Right.
So one of the criteria for something to be called a ground is that you should be able to see the trees in the backyard. So in the middle of the London, so you have the trees that are visible in Lords, right? Like, you know.
Yes.
And that is why that media box is 15 meters above ground, and so that the backside trees are still visible. And there was a lot of speculations that London has already become a batting pitch. If there is no wind flow coming, we might not get the swing for which English pitches are all known for. So they were very speculations. So they said, okay, cricket ge swing ge wind alla irbeku, aerodynamic feature irbeku, and Melbourne Cricket Club always wanted to show that they are progressive. So every time they had to have some futuristic design. So all those factors went into that design, and they made it an aerodynamic design. They kept the 25-degree angle for sun not to reflect, and they put two pillars and raised the structure so that the trees can be seen and Lords can still be called a grounds and not a stadium.
Okay. I didn't know that story, but you're right. You can see the you can see the trees anyway. I mean, London, yellow tree. So yeah, right.
So Vana, you might know. Do you remember the ground where there is actually a tree in the middle of the ground? I mean, middle andre, not exactly in the middle, but it's within the play.
Ooh.
I think Auckland or Hobart.
Kent, the St. Lawrence ground anta.
Oh my God! You know what? No, I didn't know that.
I forgot the history. I should have looked up before this meeting. Even you trees on mel napka banta. Ali, there is a tree within the play. So just I think a few feet inside the boundary rope. I mean, it's a very, very old tree, and they didn't want to cut it. So there is a tree inside.
The first class, they play first class games there?
Yeah, used to, I think, not anymore.
Yeah.
I might be wrong. They might still play, but it's called St. Lawrence Ground. I think Kent team plays there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's good. See, if you're driving in England, there are so many cricket grounds. All of them are lush green and beautiful. Ground, they can see a lot of it, but they're not iconic or anything like that. In fact, if you're traveling in a train from anywhere in London to even to Manchester or to the other ground, you have Nottingham ground. You see, there's a stop, Nottingham there. Nottingham test cricket. So you will see it there as well. So,
speaking of sunlight reflection, actually, recent ones I think it is probably the first time because of I think it's a coastal town in New Zealand, and elevation problem for the first time, sunlight was hitting straight on the batsman. So they had to stop the play for about 15 minutes until the sunset.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they could not block it from any angle. ಅದು ಮುಂಚೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ವಂತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 2 years ಇಂದ ಗೇಮ್ ಆಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಅದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ನ್ಯೂಜಿಲೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ ಡೇ, ಅದು ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 2-3 years ago. They had to stop it because there was no way to block that light. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಯೂಶಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಗೇಮ್ ಇದಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಸತಿ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಇನ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತು.
I mean, when you talk about the other grounds in ಏನು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟು, but there are no others which are worth, in the sense, look wise, none of them are good. ಬಾರ್ಬಾಡಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ಲಿ, ಇದಾದ ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಸ್ಟೆಂಡಸ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆ ತರದ್ದು. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಪ್ರಿಟಿ dilapidated ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ಗಳೆಲ್ಲ, unfortunately.
I think Antigua has its own tradition and some history, and obviously I think it has, it's known for many records, I think.
Yes.
ಇವಾಗ ರಿಚರ್ಡ್ಸ್ 56 ಬಾಲ್ 100 ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಆರ್ ಲಾರಾ both is 375 and 400. Antigal ಮಾಡ್ದ. Some of the ಆತರ I think there are many grounds which have all these memorable records. Of course, Johannesburg for that 434 chase.
The Johannesburg, right?
They call it that game. When they say that one day game, it's that 434 chase.
I know.
What a game.
So, I mean, I completely forgot. Let me think of something. I was going to tell you something about a ground.
Do you guys talk about Kashyap's wallpaper?
Yeah, I just mentioned that, Dharamshala, this is probably the most scenic ground in India, and one of the most scenic grounds in the world, with Cape Town and other places.
And also they talk about the elevation too, right? I don't know the details about it.
Yeah, it is the highest cricket ground in the world.
Yeah.
In terms of elevation, yes.
My favorite cricket ground is in my background. My favorite cricket ground is still in my background.
Which one is that?
That is our Gangotri ground, Mysore.
Oh,
That is where we played a lot.
Yeah, Gangotri Glades.
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆಯಪ್ಪ ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್. ಈಚೆಗೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮೇಬಿ 10, 15, 20 years.
No, it is that speciality. It's always been a good ground.
It's ಇವಾಗ actually ತುಂಬಾನೇ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. But
there was turf ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ. I could be wrong.
Mostly ನಾವಿರುವಾಗ ಇತ್ತು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅದು.
ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ I'm talking 80s, earlier little. ನಾನು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ 80s.
I think
I still remember that historic catch that Manish Pandey took in the Ranji League, right? Abhinav, what is his name? Abhinav, whose catch did he take?
Abhishek Nair.
Abhishek Nair's catch that Manish Pandey took.
2009 final, 6 runs sotru adu. It's a very most heartbreaking Ranji final for me.
Oh my goodness.
Yellow match.
You would have not seen such a catch even in international game. For a domestic Ranji match, that catch that Manish Pandey took was phenomenal. It was mind-blowing. I mean, somebody would do that kind of a catch for a Ranji match was like.
YouTube ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗಬಹುದಾ ಅದು? ನಾನು ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ.
I'm searching.
Yeah. And Karnataka won that game, right?
It's a whole bunch of daily deals on stuff like that.
Karnataka won the game or we lost that game? Karnataka
they lost alva ಅದು?
I think Karnataka won that game, I think.
ಹೌದಾ? Okay. See, ನಮ್ಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಾನಪ್ಪ, 80 when I came to almost early 2005 ಅಂತಾನೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. We missed out on a lot of good cricket by again internet ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಅದಿರಲ್ಲ, information ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಏನೂ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇರಲ್ಲ. I missed out on those days.
Yeah, I think Neo Sports has done BCCI has done a good job of covering domestic cricket. That's really good on that. So we see a lot of domestic cricket on Neo.
I cannot share the screen. I put this to our host Sridhara. If you want to share, then show.
Sridhara ilva anta kanade. Probably he said he might.
Here.
Oh, he's there. Oh, stepped out ankonde by chance.
Amazing catch in Gangotri Glades. Manish Pandey.
Shared it, Kashyap. You can share and show. Only thing is, sharing YouTube sometimes is slow.
Since we are talking about Lords, Kashyap was bringing it up. You should also know that Lords is one of the stadiums that runs completely on renewable energy.
Oh yes.
Lords completely runs on renewable energy.
Keep them quiet for long. What an effort! A spectacular catch there. That's an opportunity created from nowhere, plucked out of thin air. Phenomenal catch, Manish Pandey. Put one down earlier, but this, well, you can't see anything better than that. And the dangerous Nair is gone for 50. Well, that is a stunner. That is a stunner. He can't believe it, Abhishek Nair, that he has been caught taking the aided route down the track there, timing it well, doing everything right, playing with the spin. But just see that for a catch. That's brilliant. Brilliance in the field, taking one
Wow.
hand, diving to his right side, running a length there, and what a catch. Can these catches turn the...
Oh man.
Great catch up, though. My
He is
goodness.
one of the greatest. Actually, Manish Pandey, I think he is number one, and then Virat Kohli is number two in India's yo-yo tests.
Oh, howda?
Manish Pandey is, I think, slightly quicker than Kohli in Tanai.
Wow. Is he that fit? My goodness.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, to be motivated to take such a catch in a Ranji game is...
That's true.
Like, when you're in the field, you forget everything. You're playing a game and you're part of it anyway. That's the beauty of
what else I've got to say? We've not heard from Vinay.
Vinay, yeah.
I don't have much to add because I haven't been to as many grounds as my dad. I've only been to maybe like 5 grounds or something in England, and was hoping to go to a couple more in Australia this time around, but the World Cup got cancelled. But I mean, I would just echo a lot of what my dad said. Like, I think the first time I ever went to Lord's was in 2005 or something for like an England-Pakistan test or something. Maybe we went like day 5, got a cheap ticket and went. So I didn't, I was too young at that time to really appreciate it. But going back and, seeing Lord's and things, it was interesting because, you hear so much about it, but it's so different when you go there. I think you really have to visit it to understand. And I think for me personally, it was very different because and this might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't like putting Lord's on such a pedestal because it's actually, it feels like just kind of like an elitist, kind of like rich man's vibe, and you have to dress a certain way, be a certain way and everything. I know there's a lot of history and everything there, but at the end of the day, it's almost as if they're a little snobbish or they take themselves a little too seriously, and so I actually really enjoyed going to Oval, like my dad said, because Oval, I'm not sure, maybe they call it like the People's Cricket Ground or something like that, but it's kind of almost for like the common folk, so you feel a little bit more comfortable there when you go. And my dad has a good point about if you look at the pictures of the stands, the elevation of the stand from the ground is so like marginally slim. It's so thin that like you feel like you're on the level of the players, and you're, like my dad said, it feels like you're literally fielding, because you're so close to the ground that you feel like you're a part of the match. Whereas all the other grounds I've been to, you're kind of a little removed and you're kind of a spectator then, so that's why I really like the Oval. But the only thing else that I would say about Lord's after visiting Lord's is I don't know the exact amount, maybe one of you guys knows off the top of your head, but to become, well, number one, you have to be a member, right? You have to be a Marylebone Cricket Club member or something to be able to sit in the pavilion with the rest of the members and stuff. But one thing I remember is just how cheap the price is. If you can somehow make it through the 20-year wait list or something, the price is so ridiculously cheap. I think anyone would want to sign up if they know that they can get on that list and be a member for the rest of their life, because I think membership is for life, but to afford the annual fee, or maybe even there's a lifetime fee, I don't know right off the top of my head how much it was, but it's just so, for the pedestal Lord's is put at, you think it's going to be some egregious amount that none of us, common folk can actually afford. But I think it's some nominal amount that's just like, I think anyone would say, sign me up in a heartbeat. If I can go to every match at Lord's, I would love to for that price, I don't know if someone knows the price off the top of their head, but that's one thing that really stood out to me.
Nice. Well, you want to talk about your experience in Dodger Stadium?
Oh, that was, I mean, so there was that whole Cricket All-Stars thing that happened between, Sachin and Shane Warne. But yeah, I went to Dodger Stadium to watch that match, and it was.
I didn't watch that. He watched it. Yes.
I was there. I took my wife and daughter, and it was a 2015.
15, yeah.
15. Yeah, there was three game series between like All-Star. Shane Warne 11 versus Tendulkar 11, I think in Florida, Houston, and LA.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
There isn't really much to say about that other than they tried to play a cricket match on a baseball field, and they had kind of a makeshift pitch in the center, and you know, obviously the baseball field is very tiny compared to a cricket field. So I don't even remember, but the boundaries were probably not more than 60 to 80, like, you know, meters or something. So it was very easy to just flick for six if you really wanted. But I mean, that's probably what all those guys needed, because if you remember the playing 11 in those matches, they're all, you know, 40, 50 plus almost, you know, like other than people like, you know, Sangakkara and stuff like that, who are probably at the tail end of their career, everyone else was way too old to be playing in that match. So, I mean, it was an experience, but nothing crazy enjoyable or anything like that.
Yeah, the quality of the game was poor. I mean,
Very poor.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, I mean, there was a group selfie of that game, I think, of that series, saying, you know, I think it's you won't see more international runs and wickets than this picture.
Right.
You know,
Right.
combined, there were pretty much everyone there. Brett Lee, Wasim Akram, McGrath, Shane Warne, Tendulkar. Yeah.
Totally. I'm surprised, you know, I don't know how many cricket grounds there are in you know, the US or something, but I know recently, what was it, last year or something, I think India toured the West Indies, but I think one of the T20 matches was in like Fort Lauderdale or something in Florida or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what grounds that is, but, you know, I'd love to go see some of the grounds in even just the US, but I just feel like maybe they don't accommodate as many players, or I mean spectators, which is why they don't use them. I don't know why they didn't do that.
Is an official cricket ground itself, I think, and I know some of the domestic, whatever they call it, West Indies domestic cricket, they do play a few games in Fort Lauderdale as well.
Oh, then I didn't know about it.
Including last year's CPL. Yaudo, I think one of the either Granada or Jamaica, one of the CPL teams played 3 or 4 of their home games in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just to get into US, you know, market, I think. But yeah, Fort Lauderdale is a cricket ground. I mean, I'm sure they will play other, you know, soccer and baseball as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's famous for the great chase that we almost won with you know, KL Rahul's 100, but you know, but for Dhoni, we lost it because of Dhoni.
Right.
So,
see, you know, when you talk about the grounds, obviously Sydney cricket ground is an iconic ground. Melbourne is an iconic ground, and there's a lot of history behind those things. And you know, they were planning not to play this time. I think India is going a lot. They were not planning to play in Melbourne the you know, Boxing Day test, and they were planning to move to Adelaide or Brisbane or something like that. I cannot remember which one. But now they're reconsidering to play back in Melbourne. Don't know how, you know.
That's what they said. If they get at least, if they can fill the ground at least, I think half the capacity, they'll do it. If not, I think it looks even more awkward with such a big stadium being empty. So they don't want to do that.
But from a traditional standpoint, 26th of you know, December, Boxing Day game is I mean, everybody loves that day, and obviously with no crowd, there is not much of a you know, tradition anywhere. They always fill on the 26th of December. They always fill the stadium with like 90,000 plus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
ನಮಗೆ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಇತ್ತಪ್ಪ 15th of November ಮೆಲ್ಬೋರ್ನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಫೈನಲ್ಸ್.
For a long time I didn't know ಅವರು ಇದು 26th December Boxing Day test, Boxing Day ಏನಕ್ಕೆ what you know, how is it connected to boxing ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಚಿಕ್ಕವನಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ವರ್ಷ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಿದ್ದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಮಸ್ ಗಿಫ್ಟ್ಸ್, ದ ಬಾಕ್ಸಸ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಾಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತ, ಬಾಕ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಡೇ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Yeah.
Talking about Sydney and stadium, City Stadium stands ನೋಡಿದಿರಾ? ತರ ಕೋನ್ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. So
green paint.
And if you see even Chepauk Stadium, Chennai Stadium now has that cones.
Oh really?
Stands. So
ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ನಾನು ಹೋದಾಗ Wishes 97 not out. That was the greatest batting I have ever seen. I watched that. Prasanna got some wickets and ಅದು ಆವಾಗ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ತಡಕೆ ಹಾಕಿತ್ತು, ಏನು ಕೋನು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ.
So ಅದು ಅವಾಗ Sydney.
Why is it called Chepauk?
No, I'm telling about even Chepauk also. So if you, Kashyap, I can send you the link if you can open the link, right?
Alla, ido anyone know why they call it Chepauk?
ಅದೇ ಬರೋದು Chepauk ಅಂತ ಕಣ.
ಆ ಜಾಗ ಹೆಸರು ಚೇಪಾಕ್.
ಜಾಗದ ಹೆಸರು ಚೇಪಾಕ್ ಅದು.
Oh, Jaga, that's not the stadium is Chidambaram, right?
But everybody, yeah, MA Chidambaram Stadium, but Chepak antala.
Chepak is a place there.
Is it a Tamil name? Tamil word?
Yeah.
Chepak is Tamil place, and then it's close to Kritik and this one. So I sent you a link now. If you can see, look at that link, right? Chepak Stadium.
Oh,
so
it's an Urdu meaning. Bag. 6 gardens.
Yeah.
You know, CHEPAUK is the spelling.
Yeah, but I mean, the original name was Chebag. 6 gardens. 6 gardens.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
Just looking up.
Right, I forgot about it. You're right. And by the way, the stadium link that I sent you, right? This Hopkins company made the architecture for the Chennai Stadium. So Chennai Stadium can go up to 45 degrees and it's very humid, right? So beyond a point, only if the pitch gets rough, you could get wickets. Otherwise, there was no other swing or anything in the game. So they want to get the seashore wind back because of this very congested city area, right? So it was concrete heat used to become very high on the ground. Grass used to not survive, and there was no swing at all in the name of cricket. So now what they have is they have a 2-tier deck model stage where those and the gap between 2 stages act as channels for wind. So sea breeze comes in.
Yeah. Same in Wankhede, alva. Wankhede no adike they have like they redid Wankhede because of that. You know, the humidity and actually, I mean, more than the swing, I think it's also for the benefit of the spectators as well, because it would, Bombay, being very, very humid as well. So that's why when they reconstructed the stadium, I think 10-12 years ago, there are multiple channels of open, so that for winds to flow in and out.
Even the Sardar Patel Stadium, there's another stadium in Mumbai, right? That is also like tall stands.
Oh, DS or Brabant.
DS Patel Stadium.
You're not talking Brabant Stadium, right?
No.
Brabant or Patel? Hey, Vinod, I didn't get any link.
I sent it on the. I sent
even
it.
The DY Patil Stadium is adillado.
Ado outside the city. That's the newer one. IPL games alla tumba agati.
So it goes. If I send messages, it goes privately to Sridhar. It doesn't go to
Sridhar only.
In Kashyap?
Yeah, you can't send it to everyone. It's only for Sridhar.
Oh, I'll mix it. Don't worry.
I can send it to
you. We have talked about all the grounds, but Bangalore, that the I think probably Vinod knows a little bit more because he is very technically knowledgeable. Ground when it rains, what they do and how they drain it and all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They were able. They can. I think in hours they can get the stadium back to operation.
Within minutes, they were saying, right? I think it drains at like 10,000 liters per minute, and apparently, like you can play the match within maybe 20-30 minutes of the rain stopping.
Under an hour ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. But so they redid the whole ground ಅಲ್ಲ ಅವಾಗ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ full ಕೆತ್ತಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅದು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಲೇಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದು you can see that plumbing at the ಅವಾಗ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ under construction photos ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರು. And because of that, it changed the whole nature of the pitch and started screwing up RCB big time.
Link stadium though. I sent you the link.
Hopkins. Okay.
I always believe if the ball is going to continue like this, right, we should allow some level of artificial fans in the stadium that will produce some wind in some direction and make it challenging all through the day. You can always do it. If you can do a sea wave on a cruise ship, you might as well do a breeze on a field where you can keep the people cool also, the ball can swing also.
I have another question, slightly, I think, kind of changing topic as well. I forgot the name of the stadium. Melbourne, Alalva, they have a closed roof stadium. So, you don't have to stop the game because of rain.
They tried it, didn't it work?
They have Melbourne or Sydney, somewhere.
Auckland, which is
Westpac. I think Westpac a lot. Yeah, it is Melbourne, but I mean not MCG. It's another stadium where
Oh, really?
it covers
It's
the roof. I mean it's
it, 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 it's like Wimbledon. They cover the roof during rain. Huh?
yeah.
No,
I
I don't
think
know
that's
that.
where the
The Dockland Stadium.
first,
Dockland Stadium.
that's where the first ever T20 was played. I think Australia and New Zealand.
Yeah.
Huh.
Apparently, they're also making Headingley like that. Headingley in England will have a retractable roof.
ಅದೇ ಅನ್ಕೋತಿದ್ದೆ. I mean, if they can make it affordable, why not do it for all stadiums? And we'll have more results.
Are you talking about Leeds? Headingley Leeds?
Yes.
Wow.
That's a huge stadium.
Yeah.
India, Sri Lanka. India, Sri Lanka.
Yeah, India, Sri Lanka played there.
Yeah, both got hundreds there. Yeah, right. Oh my goodness, that's a big ground.
Yeah.
But I wonder how it will impact the test matches in the the breeze, overcast, the ball swing and the pitch.
I know. I'm not too crazy about that for whatever reason.
I know you may not like encourage all these indoor stadiums.
Which was you got the link I sent, right?
Yeah. Hopkins Architect.
Yeah. So, and also there's one more stadium in India. I thought some IAS officer took the responsibility of reconstructing the stadium in Nagpur or somewhere with very low budget, 94 crores or something. He built that whole stadium in a very beautiful. The Ricky Ponting and Shane Warne were totally amazed by the facilities in the stadium. I think it's Nagpur stadium or this one. I don't know. This is Chepa Stadium. So the gap between stand 1 and 2. Yeah.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
Yeah.
But it no construction for last many years. Half the stadium is closed for spectators, right?
No, half the stadium is because of the government policy of Kaveri water, right? Dispute. So half the stadium they don't function. So strike the Jana, so they don't function with that.
Sorry, why? Kaveri water stadium,
ಅದು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅದು ಅವ್ರ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇದು ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಬಂದು ಇದು ಲೈಕ್ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟರ್, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಪ್ರೊಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್.
Oh my God.
Because last many years CSK games ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಂಥರ ಪಾಪ ಅರ್ಧ ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟೇಡಿಯಂ ಖಾಲಿ ಅವಾಗಲೇ.
The idea is like you'll have wind from both between the second floor and the first floor madhya ಗಾಳಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
Oh, that's what you're talking about, is that okay?
Same with if you go to
and Sydney also has a similar thing.
I missed the Karnataka Tamil Nadu thing. What was that?
There was, because of water dispute, right? They made only half the stadium operational for IPL or something like that.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, one kid another. Yeah, you can see that.
ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು because of they just it fully open ಇದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀ I mean of course fence ಇದೆ, but there are multiple just right through, so there's some.
Do you know anything about that new stadium that's built for 100,000 plus on Trump hogela matadda that ground?
Ahmedabad. Yeah. Ahmedabad. Oh yeah.
Ahmedabad allena. That looks beautiful.
Motera. It's a new one, Sardar Patel anta.
ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅದು.
Oh yeah, we need to talk about that.
I heard that that's probably one of the better stadiums in the modern era anta.
It will be, I mean, once it opens it will be the biggest, probably. I think it has bigger. There you go. This is under construction. This was right before Trump's visit.
Yeah, but 2020 ಓಪನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಈಗ
ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇವಾಗ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ವರ್ಷದ ಹೋಮ್ ಸೀಸನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಪ್ಲೇಡ್.
ಓಕೆ. Yeah, Motera Stadium. Okay, there you go. Motera. Okay.
Oh, this is Motera. Oh, Moteraನೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದ ಮತ್ತೆ. I thought it was a new stadium.
ಹೌದಾ? Okay. I don't know.
They redid Motera.
They redid the whole Motera stadium.
Oh, probably they burnt it to the ground and they rebuilt the whole thing ಅಂತ ಕಾಣುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ?
Yeah.
Wow, that's huge, appa.
Closed roof.
100,000 antala.
Cricket stadium.
Yeah.
Docklands. Yeah. Cricket stadium.
Docklands.
Yeah.
Melbourne Docklands. That's what I thought.
ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆಯಪ್ಪ ಇದು?
I don't know. We are building 100,000 capacity stadium, and other countries are struggling to have crowd in cricket stadiums. So they are doing drop-in pitches so that they can play soccer and cricket together.
Look, I tell you that I was talking to Vinay about this afternoon. The drop-in pitches does not give you good results. I think I think 2 years ago, it was a 5-day game with everybody got 500. It's a dead wicket.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ?
Melbourne, because they play rugby no ಆಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ. They had some issue with that, and they're bringing in drop-in pitches. ಪರ್ತಲ್ಲೂ ಹಂಗೆ ಆಯ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೆಲ್ಬೋರ್ನ್
ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. there's no more Vaka.
ಹೌದು, ಅದೇ ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಕಟ್ಟಿದಾರಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಏನೋ ಒಂದು
ಹೊಸದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಇಂದ ಯಾವ್ದದು ಎತಿಹಾದ ಏನೋ ಸಮ್ ನೇಮ್. ಈಗ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಇದು ವಿಮೆನ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಕಪ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೊಸ ಸ್ಟೇಡಿಯಂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ.
ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯಾಕಾ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಇಲ್ವೇ ಇಲ್ವಾ ಇನ್ನು?
ವ್ಯಾಕಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದು ನ್ಯೂ ಒನ್.
What happened there? I don't know. I didn't follow.
I don't know if they are shutting it down or permanently, or maybe they will again start reconstruction or whatever, but for now it's done.
No Vaka, my goodness. That's a shame. Yeah. They're the fastest wicket, one of those.
I mean, it wasn't really fast now, but.
And I know, but that was at that time when Lilly and Thompson were bowling.
Yeah.
I still like the New Zealand Napier ground. Napier ground tumba chennagide.
Yeah, that's what. Well, I have again. I haven't gone to New Zealand, but I've heard that every stadium in New Zealand is very, very pretty and green and absolutely. ನೋಡಕ್ಕೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು.
Mount Maunganui,
ಅದು ಒಂದು
Mount Maunganui. Yeah.
Since you're listening, I mean, ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಕಶ್ಯಪ, Vinay had some thoughts to talk to you. Vinay, ಅದೇನೋ ಹೇಳೋದು, ನೀನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೋ? You're talking about it?
Oh yeah, I was just giving him ideas for other topics in the future.
Yeah,
hopefully.
we discussed. So I started a Google sheet. I'll share it with you. We'll start adding. I'm also archiving all the the episodes that we have run, and with the topics and date and the YouTube links. So that we can maintain.
If we have a little bit, we should talk about conversations about for and against. If you're getting 6 people, right? Instead of all of us talking what we know, right? Take a topic and somebody plays.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Speak for and 3 of us speak against it, right?
Yeah, we should do that.
Oh, for and against, either.
We'll pick. It's more like a debate. We'll select a controversial topic. I mean, need not be controversy. We can create controversy. Pick a topic and then we'll go fight for it or against it.
ಶುರು ಮಾಡು. How come Dravid is a better batsman in this time? Sachin Tendulkar.
Dravid versus Sachin.
Sachin versus Dravid. ನಾವು ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಸಚಿನ್ ವರ್ಸಸ್ ಲಾರಾ.
ಸಚಿನ್ ಲಾರಾ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಸಚಿನ್ ದ್ರಾವಿಡ್. ಮುಂಚೆ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಗವಾಸ್ಕರ್ ವಿಶ್ವನಾಥ್.
Sachin Dravid is easy, right? Number of runs scored when we are chasing and being in the winning cause.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I hate to say that, but I've always thought, again, obviously there are 2 reasons for big. One is Karnataka, the other one is the way the Dravid and Vishy batted versus Sunny and Tendulkar. Probably I'm the only cricketer or played cricket or followed cricket didn't care about Sachin Tendulkar's batting at all. I mean, he's great. I give it to him, but I didn't care. I really don't feel like, don't want to watch. I don't care about it. Don't know why.
But yes, given a lot of joy as well. But yeah, I mean, personally, even for me, it's Dravid.
But we think the problem with Tendulkar is we all take it for granted because he's been there for so long, and he's also been given the opportunity. But what we all tend to forget is the amount of load he has been carrying as a batsman is enormous. And the fact is, if you see the first time when he opened for India, right?
Oh man, what a game!
First time, and orange and black dress ಹಾಕೊಂಡಿರುವಾಗ 50 ಮಾಡಿದಾನಲ್ಲ, 50 150 ಮಾಡಿದ
84.
84, 50 ಮಾಡಿರುವಾಗ, as opening he made a 50, right? So people ran from the stadium and came to, but to prove himself that he's worthy of opening, right? He played for his height, lot of shots on the mid wicket, lofted sixes on the mid wicket area.
Look, he's a great bat. There is no question about it. He's a great batsman. For some
when
reason,
he opened it, you see him after the 50, he stands, right? He keeps his hand and elbow behind his back. You could feel that right from that time, his back, the lower back was under stress. From that age, when he started opening and started hitting over the mid wicket, right? Every time when he had that, he used to have his hand. He glousing it, it was not habit. Exactly 40 runs at the
yeah.
And sweep model, when the sweep went away from him, he went to paddle sweep because he couldn't pull from outside obstacles.
Pull from outside,
very well because.
But he was the
He
best.
switched to the paddle sweep. Yeah, he's the best at paddle sweep. On a best model of paddle sweep.
Best paddle sweep and that back foot punch over mid off. Yeah.
No, look, I mean, he's a great batsman. Don't ever, I mean, I'm not going to put him down anywhere. But all his runs,
that's
all
the
his,
aesthetics, how you like it.
yeah, and I think, in my opinion, this is purely my opinion, they made him play 200 tests. Anybody else wouldn't have played that many. Last 10 tests would just gift on.
Yeah, last 10 ನಂಗೆ ಅದೇ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದೇನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ last 10 tests were at home.
Yeah.
And then after that we had this this infamous 8-0 England Australia ella. So it actually robbed some good experience for people like Rahane and Rohit Sharma and other, which was not good. ಆ 10 home test ಶುರು ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಒಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಇದಿತ್ತು, because there was a big gap. there was no cricket and there was ಇದೇ ತರ ತುಂಬಾ ಪಾಡ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅವಾಗ. ಅದೇ ಮಂಜ್ರೇಕರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹರ್ಷ ಬೋಗ್ಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ಅಂದಿದ್ರು. ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇವಾಗ ಸಚಿನ್, ದ್ರಾವಿಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಣ್ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ ಇರೋದು ಡೌಟ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ at the fag end of this. And considering that we have 10 home tests and then we have very tough tours on all three countries, right? England, Australia and South Africa. It makes sense to blood youngsters now so that they get into that test team and then immediately after looking at the schedule, Dravid and Lakshman just dropped.
Yeah.
But this guy played all 10 tests and retired, and then suddenly said, okay, Rahane, Rohit Sharma and all these newcomers hograppa, go outside India and make your debut and suffer annonge.
Right. That was so wrong in my opinion.
Yeah.
And it's not like he was getting runs either. It's not like he was getting runs. Okay. I mean, ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ 3 ಜನ they should have called it this thing same day. All of them could have gone the same day.
Yeah. Dravid and Lakshman, I mean, they called it on different days, but
but almost the same.
But their last test was the same, 2011 Adelaide, the last one. But then Euro, continued playing 10. I mean, for such an experienced player to have his last 10 tests at home is an insult. Is an insult to the game of cricket as well, just to.
And you probably go back and look at the record. I don't think it was good at all.
No. But I mean, speaking of grounds and Sachin, we have to bring back Chepauk. It was his favorite ground, I think, but he never failed in Chepauk. I think he has 700s in 8 tests when he played in Chepauk. And the other one was, I think he had like 65 not out or something, which is, because maybe he didn't get enough chance. But, like Azhar and Lakshman in Kolkata and, Sachin and Chepauk. Actually, Sachin has pretty good record in Bangalore too.
Correct.
We don't talk about it, but
I mean, there is no place he has not gotten runs. I mean, let's face it. I mean,
except Mumbai, he didn't really play great.
Any closing thoughts, Kashyapa? Did we talk about the largest in the world, smallest in the world?
The largest is Melbourne, of course, and then probably Motera will take over. I don't know. It has to be seen until it hosts a game with its reconstructed stadium.
I think they say it's the biggest. The Melbourne will probably come short a little bit. That's what I've been told. So I don't know.
Yeah, looks like it.
It's a super good subject.
This is huge.
Any closing thoughts?
Is huge.
closing thoughts to wrap it up, because the next
Yeah.
show.
No, again, it's another fascinating topic. It never ends. But we deliberately stayed away from the pitch and the condition of the grounds. That because that itself is a different topic. We'll talk about the pitches, and I'm more interested to learn about pitch curation and the maintenance. If anybody is willing to talk more about it, I'll be happy to listen in. And yeah, that's
Thought
it.
that, Shankar could potentially talk about it, but again,
Okay, sure.
okay.
We have to set an appointment with him and see when he can actually be available.
We
And
were-
then we'll do that.
yeah, I was quietly listening.
We all should probably play sometime.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know when that is happening.
My friend's dad, he's caretaker of Mysore ground actually. Sudhakar Rai anta. I mean, he plays a big role in Mysore cricket as well as now KSCA. I think he's
Yeah.
he's part of
Because-
Vijay Patel's
Yeah.
board.
Kastur Rangan was the curator for Akaldale. Then
Yeah.
Narayan Raju, Nanjita cricket ಆಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ.
Oh.
Yeah, he was the curator. I believe
ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ
somebody
ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬನ್ನಿ
else
ಸರ್.
now.
ಸೋಮಣ್ಣ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಬಂದು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ
I can call Siddharaman, call ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾರಾಯಣ ರಾಜು ಸಿಗ್ತಾನ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. Let me try.
Yeah.
Let me see if I
Let's
can
do
make
that.
it. Yeah, I'll try. I mean, I don't know whether
next week or next month, whenever.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll take some time for me to get to. I have to get Narayan Raju number ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. I have to go through few people to get to that number. Let me find out if I can even do that.
I'll try to contact Sudhakar uncle and see if
Yeah.
he himself or someone, or if he can recommend someone else.
Or else, you know what I can go to? I can talk to Sujit, Kavitan Tamma. I met him and we spent a lot of time in Bangalore this time. And
I have a lot of questions to talk to. Ask him. If he can come.
I'll talk to him.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll talk to Sujit. I have got his number. I kept in touch with him anyway.
Oh, Vinod left. Actually, namga Vinod close friend. Sushant anta. Avanu think he almost played for. I mean, I definitely played Karnataka under 19. Nam batch ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದ JC ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದ. So it would be interesting to bring people like him and Tilak Naidu or someone who can just give us insights on that.
Okay.
Hey,
let's close it up. Next in 2 ವಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಹುಡುಕಪ್ಪ.
2 ವಾರನಾ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ ಬೇಡವಾ?
ಅಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಈ ತರ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಜನ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು then makes no interest ಅಂತ.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't care, but again, but that we might have some thoughts. Some people may come. We'll see how it all goes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Appa.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinay. Thank you, Somu. And thanks,
Sridhar. Thank you, Sridhar. Everybody, thank you, Appa.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.